talking about Spoils of War. This is the new game from Arcane Wonders by Brian Pope, Jason Medina, and it is basically a Liar's Dice with Vikings. If you probably heard that a little bit, but the basic idea of the game is very much like Liar's Dice. You are rolling dice, making claims, bidding around the table until someone calls you out. The interesting part about the game is that it implements a bidding mechanic where people can bid on the challenge or the declaration, and the ability to collect sets based on those bids. So when you win the bids, you get treasure cards, and those treasure cards will allow you to build sets and have special powers throughout the game. That's basically it. I'll do a short walkthrough for you pretty soon. You can check that out as well and see how the game plays and if it's something you're interested in. Artwork is fantastic. Components are fantastic. It is Arcane Wonders. They know what they're doing. But how does it play? So if you've played Liar's Dice before, it is very much that with a couple of things tacked on to the end of that. So it's not elimination in the same way as Liar's Dice. Instead, it is building a set. But it has kind of the same feel in that if you lose on a bid, you don't get to build your set. So you kind of fall behind from that perspective. The games are fairly quick. Even though there are 9 rounds, it doesn't really matter how many players there are. So you're going to be done with the game in 20, 30 minutes at the most. And it doesn't have a lot of push-pull, a lot of strategy or anything to it. You're really just still guessing on probabilities with dice. You do have the set building component, so there are some decisions to be made. You can decide whether you're going to bid on a particular set, whether you're going to sit out. There is a minimum bid, so you have to bid something, but you might decide, I don't want to bid that much. It's not worth it to me. So there are some interesting things. It can be a little rough if you go all in at one point and fail based on the probability. And you're kind of knocked out for a little while, but because the game is so short, it doesn't hurt that much. And there's not a whole lot to take that. You either bid or you challenge, and then you decide whether or not who you're going to go with. If you like Liar's Dice, I think you will like this. If you do not like Liar's Dice, I do not think you will like this. And I'm in between. I think Liar's Dice is fun. It's a nice diversion. It's a quick filler. It's not a big strategic game. There's not a lot of thinking. There's not a lot of puzzling. A little bit of math. But other than that, I never was blown away by it. But I like this. It's fun. It's quick and easy fun. There's nothing like, it's not the new Sheriff of Nottingham or anything like that. I don't think it's going to replace that or take over that space on your shelf. But it is entertaining, and it does add something to an old game mechanic that maybe was not there. There's a reason you don't see people playing Liar's Dice very much anymore. It's pretty simple. But Spoils of War, overall, I'm going to give it a play. I'd say this game is worth checking out. If you really like Liar's Dice, or you really enjoy this type of game or need this type of weight game for your collection, I think you're really going to like it, and it's definitely worth tracking down. If you are on the fence, don't own any of those games, we're always a little bit bored by Liar's Dice, give it a shot at least. This might fix those problems for you, but it might fall more on the dodge side, and that's just going to happen with any game of this weight, any type of party game style, midweight thing like this. But it's not super complex. So there you have it. Spoils of War. It plays 2 to 5 players, but you could play up to 10 if you have 2 sets, which is pretty interesting. And it doesn't actually add any time to the game, which is always a good thing. That's Spoils of War. All right, guys. Make sure you check this out if you are interested in those types of games. If you want to see how the game plays and what it looks like, make sure you click on over to our other video for At the Table walkthrough of Spoils of War. And make sure you stay tuned to the channel as well. This is just one of a handful of reviews coming out of Origins. We're going to have all new videos, all new reviews all summer long, especially as we get up to Gen Con and after Gen Con. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you check out what's going on here, because we're going to have lots and lots of games coming up, and hopefully some fun new ideas and things mixed in with those games. So that's everything for this At the Table review. Until next time.